Hey, what's up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to review Snowfall Season 6, Episode 7. We getting down to it. If you haven't seen the 7th episode of Season 6 of Snowfall, turn this video off, go watch it, come back and watch this video. Anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. These are my thoughts and expressions and how I feel. And I am not a public speaker, so I will tend to stutter and pause. I'm gonna be looking to my notes over here on my right, and I'll be drinking out of my handy dandy water bottle. So yeah, last chance. If you haven't seen the 7th episode of Season 6 of Snowfall, turn this video off because I'm about to spoil the entire episode. I like to grade the videos before and after. I like to grade the episode before and after my videos. And I'm going to grade this episode. Like, Snowfall been doing their thing, man. I got to grade this episode at A+. Like, they've been doing their thing. Like, it's been so lit. Now that I think about it, this episode was kind of slow. No, I'm going to take that back. I'm sorry. I love Snowfall, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to give it like I'm going to give it an A-. Like, it don't need that plus because it wasn't all of that. But anyway, let's get into it. Okay. Oh yeah, y'all know how I go. I gotta hit my wake and bake. I just woke up, so that's why I still got the bonnet on. I was debating. I was like, should I take my bonnet off or not? I was like, nah, let me just be as real as I can. This is how I just woke up. I literally just woke up and washed my face and brushed my teeth, and now my mouth is super dry. And I'm about to be smoking. Mouth can be still dry, that's why I got my water. Oh, and y'all, I'm not doing the notes no more, like writing it down on the notepad. I don't know why I was doing that the whole time. I should have been just writing the notes in my notes on my phone. So now I'm writing the notes in my notes on my phone, recording off my iPad, and just reading the notes on my notes. And it's easier because I can just, just scroll on my phone instead of on the damn notepads I was writing on. I used to have to flip, and then the papers would try to turn back over. So it was a whole thing, but I'm mad at myself that I wasn't been using my notes in my phone. But now I know, and now I'm good. All right, let's get into it. The first scene we got is Franklin, Louis, Leon, all them, Scully, all them. It's aftermath of Jerome just getting shot. So they take him to this funeral home, and you see Franklin paying off the funeral director. He's like, I need this done as soon as possible, this, that, and the third. So the funeral director, they telling Louis, you can't be here. Like, we need a couple of hours with the body. We're going to take good care of him, this, and that, and the third. And, Louis still like, now look, let me say something right quick. Mary J. Blige, a.k.a. Monet Tejada, you could take some notes from You could take some notes from Louis. Shoot, because Louis looked like she just lost somebody. When you lost Zeke, I couldn't tell. Like, the acting needs to be better. But Louis, like, you could tell this whole episode, Louis does not give a F. Louis does not care. So they telling her they need a little few moments with the body. They need some time with the body and all that. She going off. She like, no. They try to hold her back. She calling Jerome's name. It's so sad. Because we know the love that was there for them. We know the love that they had for each other. We done watched it all the way from season 1. Back when Louis used to be like off the sherm all the time, off the dip. So we know the love is there. She's screaming Jerome's name. They holding her back. Franklin just standing there in silence, looking off into the sky. I mean, we know what's in Franklin's mind, but it's just like, I would love to see what he was thinking about in that moment. So Leon drops Louis off home. He walking her to the door. And he basically like, he want me to call one of your, like, basically asked me, do he want me to call one of your soldiers to, like, to come to the house or whatever. And Louis turned to him and was like, well, the war over, ain't it? So, like, basically saying, like, what I need security for if the war over between them and Kane or whatever. Because Kane died, too. But we ain't really checking for that because Kane was the bad person in the situation. So, Kane died, too. But I thought Kane was funny. I knew his end was going to come. But I was kind of skeptical because he made it through that first shot and was able to walk again and all that, just to end up dying. His character was funny to me, but, I mean, hey. So she telling like the war over, ain't it? And he was like, Leon was just like, he ain't say yes, he ain't say no. He was like, basically he told her like if she need anything, he there for her. So she go in the house. She started feeling emotions all over again. Well, not even all over again, because she been feeling them since the episode started. But she in the house and she, you know, Louis, she just feeling up, really upset. She having a complete meltdown. I think she started, oh no, not that yet. But she in there, she going through it. So Teddy's on the phone, I'm assuming with the CIA dude. And I'm assuming that they talking about the KGB guy's whereabouts. They ain't really say names. They just said he, him, stuff like that. But he basically telling them like, what's going on with the dude. He moved. He went somewhere, and Teddy was just basically like, we need to keep an eye on him. So then Teddy's annoying girl, she started complaining like about the whole accommodation. She was like, you don't have a house. She's like, you got $70 million and you don't have this, you don't have that. This, that, the third. Teddy telling her that they in a rental. She's like, oh, well, you don't even have a house. And I'm just like, I'm so tired of this sarcastic chick. She's just so annoying to me. So right after she and they complaining about everything, Teddy baby mother show up. And she pregnant, which threw Teddy off. He was like, so he was, she said something about, oh yeah, Teddy's girlfriend was like, hey, or something. And she was like, oh, when this happened? And Teddy was like, when did that happen? Pointing at her belly. So I was like, so she basically, so she was like, she basically asking Teddy, why did he kill your father? Why did Franklin kill your father? And Teddy was like, well, he thinks I took $73 million from him. Or did he say the amount? I don't know. I think he just said he thinks I took money from him. Something like that. I don't know. But then the baby mother was like, did you? And Teddy was like, he said it in some type of, what I want to say? He said it in like a smart way. He was like, I regained access to assets for my company. Something like that. Some little excuse he said. So she was like, babe, she was like, oh, okay. Well, this is all simple. She was like, just give the money back. And Teddy was like, nah. And I didn't see that coming. And then I'm like, baby mother, how much authority you got over somebody like Teddy to tell him that he got to get the money back? But he looking like, it was weird. She tell him to get the money back. He say, I can't, it don't work like that. Basically what he was telling Franklin on the phone. When Franklin was with Teddy's father. So she tell Teddy, get the money back and like walk away. She telling Teddy, but like, I know you ain't gonna do that because basically this is the type of ish that you like to be into, stuff like that. Then she threatens him. She's like, I can't remember what she said in detail, but she said something like, basically telling him to get the money back and walk away, or she said, I will publicly execute you. And Teddy looked scared. And I was just like, that was weird. I was like, what she got on him? Maybe she do got something on him I forgot about. She had a couple more scenes in previous seasons. But I don't really remember the whole story then. Either way. So then we get Franklin, he stopped by the house. Wanda, she come out there concerned about Leon. Franklin telling Wanda, like, Leon good. He went to go drop Louis off. Sissy come out the back. Sissy already, it kind of looked like Sissy already knew. So she's like, Leon dropped off Louis. And Franklin was like, yeah. And Sissy was like, and Jerome? And there was that long, quiet pause. And then what did Franklin say? I don't even think Franklin said it. I think it just cut away straight to them in the funeral home. Sissy looking over his body. I can't remember, but Sissy was looking over his body. She was like, did he suffer? Franklin was like, nah. It was like, shoot, it looked like he suffered. He took about three shots to the chest. And he was laying there, like, coughing up blood for a couple of seconds. I don't know. I mean, well, we all know Franklin just told Sissy that so she could feel better. So now we cut away back to Teddy and his girl. And now all of a sudden, Teddy's girl starting to agree with the baby mother. And Teddy looking at her like basically like, oh, you agreeing with her now? He was like, my family is like safe and secure. My family's protected. That's one thing I know. Basically, he telling her this. He like Franklin. He's like, Franklin's money. He don't say Franklin's money, but he's like, that money belongs to us. And here she go. Here she go with the annoying stuff that she says. She get that money doesn't belong to me. I mean, doesn't belong to us. It belongs to you. And I'm just like, girl, you was the main one telling him to take the money and all that and come back to you when he do. Now he trying to do it, and it's just like, she's so annoying. So she talking about, yeah, that's not my money. I mean, that's not our money. That's your money. What she say to him? Oh yeah, she said that's your money unless you was planning on giving me half. So then Teddy little face perks up. He like, is that what you wanted the whole time? And I'm telling y'all, this woman seems sneaky. So she says, she's like, you're out here doing stuff that's dangerous. She was like, she was like, I'm also at risk too. She was like, basically she tells him she wants more involvement, or she can find excitement elsewhere, basically. That's what she tells him. And they start kissing or whatever. And I'm just like, this broad, Teddy don't got time for these female mind games. This dude on other stuff, he on too much meticulous time that he gotta get through situations and stuff, and you over here playing mind games with him. He can't tell if you serious or not, when you being sarcastic, what you even be talking about. He can't tell if he can trust you. It's just like, he's so annoying. But I mean, hey, Teddy put himself in this situation. So anything that happens with this girl and Teddy, that's on Teddy. So Sissy, she goes to see Louie. They sitting down. I'm trying so hard not to cough. Shoot. Jinxed it. Whatever. So Sissy and Louie, they had to sit down. Sissy shows up to Louie' place. They sitting down. They starting to grieve over Jerome. Sissy telling Louie, like, he loved you so much. Like, he wouldn't even look another way at another woman. Even the ones he was with. So we kind of see that Jerome probably had, like, little Jones he would just smash. And Louie was okay with it. That's what it's saying. Like, I don't know. But she's like, yeah, he didn't even love no other woman like you. He wouldn't even look at another woman. Stuff like that. So Louie get this all Franklin's fault, right? I'm like, girl, why you even say something like that to Sissy of all people? At the end of the day, that's still her son. So, of course, Sissy says in this moment, she's like, we all played a part, basically, like, we all to blame. Louie like, nah. Louie ain't trying to hear that. She like, man, I'm the one that lost my husband. And Sissy like, well, I lost him too. Like that was my whole brother. Like, what you mean? That was my only brother. So I lost him too. She's like, and I also lost my husband. Like, she lost Alton too. Like I said in the last episode, I still don't think Alton's dead. I need to see a body. Anyway. She's like, I lost him too. I lost my husband too. Louie started to think. Louie starts to quiet up. Her face could tell that she's like, oh yeah, you got a point. But she don't say that out loud. So then she get the, what Louie say? Oh yeah, Louie was like, you still got something to lose. Long pause. Face look hella like I don't care, dude. She's like, you got a lot to lose. I mean, you still got something to lose. She said, I don't. Like it's up now. Like, I don't even care. I don't got nothing to lose now. I ain't got Jerome. I don't even care no more. It's up for anybody. That's what I get. That's what I got from Louie in that moment. So Franklin and Leon, they sitting down. You can tell everybody feeling Jerome's death. But you know, they not really talking about it, saying too much. So Franklin, he asked Leon, Leon, what my credit looking like with you? Leon was like, man, your credit looking good as me, basically. I was like, that's what's up, like, No matter what they go through, they always boys. They always homies. And I like that. So he told him, like, your credit is as good as me. So Franklin was like, okay, what do you ask him for? He asked him, let me hold $500,000, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to get it back to you. And, like, Leon basically, like, nodding, basically saying, yeah. They don't show Leon saying yes. They don't show Leon actually saying yes, but he nodding in agreement like he going to do it. Leon like, what it's for? For Franklin say it's for the price of freedom. So I'm like, ooh. But I'm thinking he needed that $500,000 because, you know, he's supposed to be giving Gustavo $1 million. So maybe he was short. Or maybe he didn't want to dip all the way out of his funds to give Gustavo this $1 million. Mind you, he promised Gustavo $10 million in the beginning. So it's just funny how it went all the way from $10 million to $1 million. So they leave out of I'm assuming, I don't know who house that is that, maybe it's just like a trap house Leon and Franklin was in. They leave out, they start to walk. I kept calling their little neighborhood like the hood and Cali and stuff like that. So Wanda says it in this episode. It might have been said before, but I probably missed it. But they call it the PJs. So Leon and Jerome, I mean not Leon and Jerome, Franklin and Leon, they started to walk through the PJs. Started to talk about Jerome, stuff like that. Franklin was like, Jerome was my family. I loved him. He was my blood. He should have just never, backed away from us. What'd he say? He should have never broke away from us. He was like, man, none of this stuff should have happened for real, for real. And I was like, there you go, Franklin. Don't just say that, like, even though this Kane, Jerome, and Louis beef was like their own doing and stuff, like, in a way, still, Franklin has to be responsible. And he know that. He know that. So then we get to this thing, Louis, she in the house, she having, like, bad dreams about Jerome, tossing, turning. She wake up, starts, like, ransacking. I don't know what she looking for. Maybe she was looking for drugs. I don't know what she was looking for. They ain't really say. But then she leaves out the house spazzing or whatever. She gets in her car all in a tizzy. Start driving all crazy. She spazzing in the car, smacking, doing the little Franklin thing with the seat. With the steering wheel. I was just like, oh, I was just like, poor Louis. I feel it for her. But I was like, Monet Tejada. Take some notes, Monet. I love you. Yeah. But she spazzing out. She ended up crashing into like a whole bunch of trash cans or something like that. Thank God it wasn't like something hard, like a tree or a building or something. But I feel like the state Louis was in, she didn't care at that moment. She was like, I don't care. Like, she even told Sissy. Know what she told Sissy? She told Sissy it's gonna be hard not to like jump in the grave with him. So we already know what type of feelings Louis feeling right now. So she crashed into these trash cans. Some dude pop up. Seems like he wanted Scully's, man. He pointed a gun at her. He like, you crazy? Crazy, you be? Like, you want to die, basically? And Louis like, shoot me, nigga. She's like, what y'all gonna do, niggas? Start yelling at Scully's men and all that. So apparently she's outside of Scully's place or whatever. So she starts screaming for Scully and all that. Like, where's Scully at? Scully, come get your niggas. All this, that, all that. She going off. So eventually she gets up at Scully's place. Scully in there trying to like tend to the little K brand that Kane put on Louis' chest. He in there trying to like tend to it or whatever. So Louis started asking him. And I thought this scene was so crazy. I still feel like Scully's character, that wouldn't be no character in real life after what they did to him. But I still feel like that whole situation crazy. But she asked Scully in this moment as he's like trying to tend to her little brand. She's like, what she asked him in? Because I wrote this down to make sure that she asked him, how does he find peace? Because we know that he lost his daughter and his daughter's mother, his girl, at the hands of Franklin, Louis, and Jerome, and I think Leon too. I can't even remember the whole situation. I'm so burnt out, I don't even remember. But I know for sure he lost his daughter and all that, and Franklin and all of them had some involvement. I can't remember what it was. So I was just like, damn, for Louis to ask Scully in this moment, and it's like for Scully to be so forgetful. Even back when he first forgave, I was like, when he came in that hospital and was supposed to shoot Louis up while she was in the hospital. Oh yeah, it's starting to come together a little bit. I still can't remember everything though. But yeah, I was just like, Scully couldn't be no real Kirk in real life. Real Kirk in real life, he'd have been dead by now from trying to get retaliation. Or he would have got retaliation right now. And Franklin and none of them would even be alive right now. But I digress. That's why we need the show. We need these characters like Scully. So Scully, he tells her, what did he tell her? She was like, how do you find peace? And he was like, because I know they not gone. Like, they still here with me. And he says he don't want to tank the love that they had. And I was like, okay. I get that. Some people just see the bigger picture. And, I mean, that's how it's supposed to be. She was like, don't you be just wanting to burn it all to the ground? He was like, hell yeah. He was like, yeah, but he's like, they won't let me. Like, talking about his daughter and his baby mother. Like, they down there watching over him and trying to help him make the right path in life without them. So he's like, yeah, they won't let me. They won't let me do stuff like that. Why you think I ain't retaliated on y'all? I couldn't believe Louis said, don't you want to burn it all to the ground? Like, y'all responsible. One of the people responsible for his people's death, sitting right across from him, asking him, don't he just be wanting to burn it all to the ground? But I thought that was a very strong scene to have. Because I'm like, you was responsible. And you asking him this? I just felt like that was a whole crazy full circle moment. But I mean, hey, that's why Snowfall writers are so good, bruh. Anyway, so Louis having bad dreams. Now Franklin having bad dreams. Franklin in the bed, toss and turn, and V like, Franklin, what's going on? And Franklin, he wake up, he's like, I can't breathe. I can't even breathe. And V trying to calm him down. She's like, you right here. It's just a dream. You right here. I'm right here with you. Just that. She's like, you fine. And Franklin like, I'm not fine. So Franklin starting to feel it. You know, he already been feeling guilt. Like, we could tell in this episode, we could tell Franklin's been feeling guilt from the funeral home scene towards the end, all that. And he has a right to be, but also, I mean, well, yeah, he has a right to be. But at the same time, like I said, it's like a 50-50 thing. Like Jerome and Louis. No, it's like 75 the other percent. Like 75 Jerome and Louis' way, and the rest Franklin. Because I still stand on what I said, that Kane situation was Louis and Jerome. Franklin ain't really had nothing to do with that. Like, even when Franklin was still in the game, like, he had nothing to do with that Kane situation. That was something that Louis and Jerome did on their own. And that cop. That dirty ex-cop. So Louis, she pops up on her cousin. You know, the cousins that she got. I think that's her cousin-in-law. I don't know which one is the cousin, but the cousin that her and Jerome went down there and set them up with some product to sell out there in the country. I think they was country or something like that. So Louis went to go see her. Her cousin consoling Louis. Like real breakdown. Louis can finally break down with somebody that she know, that's like she close to. Other than like Sissy, because you know Sissy was on the we are all to blame. So Louis ain't trying to hear that. So she needs somebody that's really in her corner type stuff, that won't see no wrong in her. Things like that. So Gustavo and his girl, they wake up because they hear something in the apartment. She like, go see what that is. Gustavo go out in his kitchen. The damn KGB dude done broke in his house. And he's sitting in there doing something with the table. I don't know what he was doing on the table. Playing with something. He's like, hola, my friend. And Gustavo looking like, what the F do you want? Like, I wouldn't even started with like that. I'm like, how you get up in here? But I guess that's obvious TV. People say that. How you get in here? So he's like, what the do you want? So he basically tells Gustavo, look, I know it's a shipment from Colombia coming in 2 days. I already know about it. Don't try to deny it. He's like, I want you to go retrieve it. And I want you to hide it in the warehouse. Yeah, I want you to hide it in the warehouse. So Gustavo's like, why? What you think, Gustavo? What he been trying to get you to do the whole time? He's like, you know. So Teddy can be there with it and we can arrest him. So Gustavo, he kind of hesitant at first. Then this girl come out. She's like, who are you? Whatever. He's like, I'm a friend. And she's like, you're a friend with a gun at the table? That's what he was playing with. He was playing with the gun on the table. She's like, you're a friend with the gun at the table? Whatever. So he ain't gonna say that. So she's standing there. She looking suspicious, of course. But she already know what the gist is because Gustavo done already told her everything. So Gustavo basically agrees, but I think he just stringing the KGB dude along until Franklin can bring him the money and the documents or whatever. But he basically tells the KGB dude he can do that, he'll do it, but he need he need like documents, you know, to flee the country or whatever, and he also needs some money. You know, the KGB dude, he like, I feel like he just stringing Gustavo along too, like he did with Avi. He told Avi he was going to spare his life or whatever. He said it sarcastically in a way where we still knew he was gonna kill him. But it's just like he doing the same thing he did with Avi. He just making promises and then in the end he just not gonna keep them. But he tells Gustavo, oh yeah, I can do all that for you. He was like, I can't get you as much money as your American friends, but we can get you something to start you off or whatever. So they ultimately like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. KGB dude gets up, starts to leave. He turned back around. He basically threatened him, like basically telling Gustavo, like, don't change your mind. This is already in motion. Like, you can't turn back now because I will, don't make me hurt somebody. That's what he said. Don't make me hurt somebody. So he basically threatening his life if he don't go through with this plan. So Gustavo, like I said, these last couple of episodes, Gustavo been on edge anyway. So I still want to know what we see. Well, I don't know. Gustavo's in a tiffy, man. They don't know what he gonna do. And we see this later in the episode. I'm gonna get to that. So Wanda show up in the house. Leon was like, your hair look good. She was like, yeah, I feel like it was time. I was like, look at them trying to be like little marital couple. Little gangster marital couple. So she come in with like this bag or whatever. So Leon asking Wanda, like, what's that? She was like, some of my stuff for my new place. So Leon was like, what? What you mean? You moving out? So Wanda was like, not only am I like moving out, I'm leaving the PJs for good. Like, I'm leaving. So Leon was like, what you mean? Like, we ain't gonna talk about this, basically. And she basically just telling them like what she been telling Sissy. Like, she don't know how she gonna be able to handle it here. It's so drug crazed out here, and she don't know her place. Things like that. Leon telling her like, she was like, I would love to be like in Africa with my husband, like raising a family, this, that, and the third. Leon basically telling her like, just give me some time. I promise, like, we're gonna get up out of here. I'm just trying to find like a young soldier. Trying to find a young soldier. I can't remember what show or movie that's from where you like, oh no, that's from Plug. I'm plugging in the show. It's a Showtime show called Your Honor. I watched that. It's 2 seasons. It's 20 episodes. Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. He's the main character in this show, so you know it's good. But yeah, plug that show. It's called Your Honor. That jump's super good. But they got this little gang. I ain't gonna get too much, but it's like one of the gang members. He be like, "You a good soldier," and and they from Louisiana. They in NOLA in this jump. So he be like, "You a good soldier." So I like when they say that. So that's where I just got that from. Yeah. So where was I at? Dang, I just went all the way off the tracks. But yeah, Your Honor, that's a good show. Dang, where was I? I went too far down. Oh yeah, so Leon telling Wanda like, just give me some time. I gotta find a good soldier. To take over the PJs for me. Like pass it down to the next man and all that. Wanda ain't trying to hear all that. She walk off. So we know Wanda's like, she trying to be on a new tip, and I don't blame her. Like, look at what she used to go through, like, and Leon ain't trying to hear that right now, which is crazy because it's like, dude, you should want to get out after you killed that kid. Like, that's some crazy stuff. Anyway, so now Louie, she in the bathtub, her cousin like fake washing her. She in the bubble bath. And I thought this was so weird. Like, this made me look at Louie's character a little weird too. I was just like, they talking about how they used to let some guy strangle them until they could pass out to see how long they could. They used to let a dude pay them $20 to strangle them to see how long before they pass out. And I was like, what? That's some super white girl stuff. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. But like, you know, when people read stories and you gotta guess if it's black or white, if I heard that story without context, I would say white. What the hell? Like, what? $20? Strangling until you pass out? I was like, that's so weird. But anyway, so they started talking about, Louie started blaming herself. She telling her cousin, like, what the dudes did to her, saying it was worse to her than some situation from back in the day. So I'm assuming, like, Louie must have got sexually assaulted back in her childhood or something. So they giving us, like, some type of story with that. They don't go, like, super into detail, but we get something like that. So she probably had a similar situation to what happened with her in Kane's Man or whatever. So she blaming herself and stuff. She mentions how she sometimes like forgets that Jerome was even dead, stuff like that. So Louie's just like going through it, like, and it's showing. Monet Sahada. So Teddy, he been paging Louie, because you know he trying to get to Franklin. And Franklin trying to get to him. And it's crazy. How they trying to get to each other, but they ain't got to each other yet. I feel like that's going to be the finale. But Teddy, he been paging Louie. Louie finally hits him back. What the do you want? Basically, Teddy's like, excuse me? Like, Teddy just thinks he's the boss. Like, Louie, you can't talk to me like that. Every time he meets with Louie, he always trying to, like, big dog her. Like, always trying to get up in her mix and find out stuff and all that. And she be just like this business, we doing a drop-off. Like, let's just handle that. He always trying to ask questions and stuff. Like, you supposed to be so good at your little CIA job, you should know this stuff already. You shouldn't have to be trying to get intel from her. Because she ain't going to give it to you. She don't trust you, for real. She need a plug. She don't really trust you. And at the end of the day, Franklin is still her family. As we see at the end. So he like, excuse me? So Louie was like, Louie was basically like, he was like, I've been paging you. Louie was like, obviously, if you've been paging me and I ain't been answering, like, obviously I'm busy. I'm doing stuff, basically. And she real, like, going, like, her voice tone is real going on him. Like, she really going on him. So Teddy was like, what did he say? Oh, yeah, he was like, it's not a request. So then they get this long pause, and Louie on the other line just like, oh, this nigga. So Louie was like, basically, she was like, I can meet somewhere at 3. And Teddy was like, no, now. And she was like, no, then. And hung up on his ass. Because I was like, Teddy be thinking he big dog and big boss and stuff. I mean, I get it, but Louie going through something. I mean, he don't know that, but still. So Wanda, she's still at her place. She packing up. Sissy pop up there. She already in there, I think. Or did she knock on the door? I don't remember. But she was like, yeah, I heard you was leaving and all that. She was like, I understand why you leaving. Things like that. She was like, and if you're looking for an apartment, like, I can help you out with that. And Wanda was like, for real? She was like, see, that's why I love you. You're always helping me out. You do everything for me and all that. So that's when Sissy was like, and I want you to, like, I want you to take my position running the shelter. So Wanda was like, for real? Like, what you mean? And Sissy was like, I don't think I could work there no more. I don't think I could go back there at all no more. And Wanda was like, it's like, so what's next? What you gonna do next? What you gonna do when all of this is over? And then Sissy just staring off. She don't get no answer. The scene cuts away to Gustavo and Franklin. Every time Gustavo and Franklin meet up, I be like, oh, that's like giving us everything that's like the juicy parts. Like, it's giving us everything we need to know. When them Franklin and Gustavo meetups and them Gustavo and Teddy meetups, I like those. Those be the juicy. They give us all the fat, all the meat and stuff. So Gustavo like Franklin. I need the money now. It's I know I asked for it this time now or something like that, but I need the money and the documents now. So Franklin was like, yeah, I got the money, but them documents, they're gonna take some time. So Gustavo started going off. So Franklin like, what's wrong, Gustavo? Like, what's going on? Asked him what's going on, cause Gustavo going off. Dang, my nose always stomped up when I wake up. I wrote all this down because I ain't want to miss nothing that they talked about. So Franklin like, what's going on? Let me see. So that's when Franklin, so that's what Gustavo, this scene was so funny. So Gustavo started to tell Franklin like, man, the DEA been around or whatever. As soon as he said DEA, Franklin started looking around, like, looking for like a jump out car, like looking all over the place, like basically because he like DEA. So he tell Franklin that the DEA wants him and Teddy. So Franklin whip out the gun on Gustavo immediately. He whip out the gun. Gustavo, what did you do? He like, how long you been working with the DEA? So Gustavo tells Franklin, yeah, I've been working with the DEA since you left the game. Since Franklin told Teddy he was out or whatever. He was like, they got pictures of Louis. Franklin like, he like, they got pictures of Louis. He was like, but you clean, I promise. He was like, Franklin, you clean. He tell Franklin he good. Franklin don't believe him, but Franklin, he ultimately lowers his gun. He still got it in his hand. Probably, most likely off safety still. So he still got his gun in his hand. So Franklin still know it's up, but he lowered his gun. So then he tell Franklin about the KGB dude. He was like, you knew he was KGB too, didn't you, Franklin? Franklin was like, yeah. He was like, so he tells Franklin about the DEA dude, the KGB dude threatening him and his family, all that. He was like telling him about what the KGB dude wants him to do by leaving like the drugs in the warehouse to get Teddy set up. So that's when Franklin was like, you mean the same warehouse you was supposed to bring me to kill Teddy? And Franklin was like, Gustavo was like, no, I don't think so. I think it's a different warehouse. I was like, you's a damn lie, Gustavo. I was like, Gustavo, you already in hot-ish. Like, come on, bruh. It's too late. Like, it's too late. So he was like, no, I don't think so. So Franklin looked at him like, like he don't believe it all the way fully. But he's still trying to get this information out of Gustavo. He's trying to find out everything that he knows. So, who was it? So Gustavo's telling Franklin that the KGB dude wants the DEA to arrest Teddy and things like that, and wants him to arrest Teddy. And he's saying that the DEA dude is like getting irritated, frustrated. He thinking about like pulling the plug on the whole thing and just arresting Gustavo. Gustavo's telling Franklin all of this. So Franklin like, So everybody want Teddy, me, the DEA, the KGB. Gustavo was like, yeah, so that's why you got to move now. Like, now is the time. You can't wait no more. And basically, that's why I'm here trying to get my money and my documents so I can flee before this even go down. So, let me see. So Franklin tells Gustavo, like, I might be able to buy you a day with the DEA. But he tells Gustavo, like, I need Teddy now. Like, no more stalling. You just told me that I need to make a move now, so I need Teddy now. Gustavo gets, I ain't seen Teddy since you killed his father. Like, Franklin's like, man, it's like a hiding game, cat and bird. He was like, and I'm the bird, but I'm the bird. And Gustavo was like, well, Teddy ain't no cat. He ain't gonna just fall into he ain't gonna go straight into a trap. And Franklin was like, yeah, I know. So Franklin know. He ain't no fool. Like he just said, he the bird. I ain't really understand that phrase. Maybe I should go back and watch it, but I don't know. Because I only be watching these episodes like once. Maybe I should watch them more than once. Because people that review shows, sometimes they watch them more than once because they be missing stuff. But I don't be feeling like I be missing stuff. I be writing the scene for a scene. Anyway. So Gustavo, he apologizes for like not telling Franklin all this and all that. Franklin like, man, you had to do what you had to do. But you know Franklin don't trust Gustavo after that. Probably never trusted Gustavo fully. I don't think nobody trusts Gustavo fully. So let's see. So the CIA guy, he totally I feel like he's backstabbing Teddy in this moment. He's telling his boss everything that's going on with Teddy. He's like, the dude killed his father right on the phone with him. Teddy heard his father bleed out on the phone and things like that. The boss was like, the nigger killed his father? And I was like, oh, so we know what type of tip the CIA boss dude is on. So the CIA guy that be meeting with Teddy, he's telling his boss that. The boss is like, the nigger killed his father? So I was like, oh, man. So the CIA guy was like, man, Teddy, he got ambitious. And now the KGB's involved. And they trying to put us on the news. And this, that, and the third. And the boss was like, no, what'd he say? He's telling the CIA dude, I don't want to know none of that. That's your business. Told him, like, looks like you got yourself in some cracks, so you better fill them. That's what he tells the CIA dude that be meeting with Teddy. I don't know his name. I don't think they even say his name. Ain't that important. So Teddy and Louis finally meet up. Most likely at 3, like Louis said then. No, then. So Louis like, why am I here? Like, this ain't no drop off. Like, we ain't make no appointment to exchange product for money, this, that, and the third. So Teddy like, I want Franklin, basically. And basically Louis like, what makes you think I could get that and all that? No, first she asked why. She's like, why? Why you want Franklin? So he was like, cause he killed my father. So, you know Teddy always reading body language. So when he said that, you know, Louis ain't even budged when he said that. You know, Teddy was looking to see if Louis already knew, but from the way Louis' body language was, you could tell she didn't know. And of course she didn't know. Franklin didn't get a chance to tell her, because the whole thing with her getting kidnapped was happening at the time Franklin was at the house telling Leon and Sissy and V and them to be careful of Teddy. Louis was getting kidnapped at the little stables and stuff. So Louis never even knew. So you could tell in her body language that she didn't know. Teddy's reading all of this. So he's like, he killed my father. So Louis telling Teddy, like she told him, I think she told him this before, like, yeah, she told Teddy that they're not cool. So I don't know what Teddy thought. Oh yeah, Teddy knew this, yeah. So she telling Teddy, me and Franklin don't talk. Like, we ain't communicating, we ain't social and all that. And Teddy like, I know that, and you need to change that. So Louis was like, no. She says, no. So Teddy starts to get irritated. He's like, man, I sell you drugs. I make you a lot of money. And all I'm asking for Franklin is Franklin. That's not a lot to ask for. So she gets the, Franklin is the reason that I got to bury my husband tomorrow. And this, that, and the third. So that's when Teddy was like, wait, Jerome's dead? So Louis like nods yes. And she was like, look, after Jerome's funeral tomorrow, I'll do whatever you want with Franklin. I'd slit his throat. I want him dead just as much as you do. But until then, leave me alone. She tells him this. So in this moment, I was kind of irritated because, but as we see at the end, nothing actually happens. But I was irritated in this moment because Louis tells Teddy where Franklin's going to be at tomorrow. She tells him about Jerome's funeral. And although Teddy probably feeling bad, and in this moment, Teddy's probably like, oh, damn, if Franklin was responsible for getting Jerome killed, then Louis definitely ain't gonna want to communicate with Franklin. So that's a dead end on trying to get to him through her. So of course Teddy probably thinking that in his mind, but also he's hearing Louis say Jerome's dead and his funeral's tomorrow. So obviously Teddy's probably like, oh, okay. Even if Franklin had something to do with Jerome's death, that was still his uncle. That was still his blood. Like, Louis not really his blood, but Jerome is. So you know he probably going to be somewhere at the funeral lurking or something like that. Things like that. So I was like, man, you just told Teddy where Franklin going to be at. So this is about to be a whole thing. So I was like, this whole funeral scene about to probably go way left. That was my whole thoughts when she told him this. So I was just like, damn, Louis. And I was like, did she do that purposely, or was she just saying that just to say, like, telling him that, like, what's up? Like, I gotta bury my husband. Like, I don't got time for this. Or was she doing that purposely to be like, I'm burying my husband tomorrow, who's Franklin's uncle? Like, so I don't know. But I just felt like, oh man, in that moment. So we get the last scene, which is Jerome's funeral scene. Everybody walking up to like take their seats and things like that. Even Dion's there. Dion's back. Seeing a couple of people on it. So you know, if you watch the Power spinoffs and stuff, the Power Force with Tommy's power, it's called Force. So he, you know, on Tommy's joint, he had the brothers. So you know, one of the brothers, he was like super reckless and all that. And one of them was kind of chill, but still reckless, but not reckless. But the super reckless brother, you know, he's on this show. And he plays Louis' country cousin, the one that her and Jerome went down there to like set them up product and all that. She the cousin's husband or whatever. So I don't know if that's her cousin or if the girl is her cousin. They cousin through marriage, whatever it is. But he was there. I don't know his name. And even Uncle Clifford, I saw him there from Pink Valley. I was like, okay. Has he been on there before? I don't remember. But I was like, okay, Uncle Clifford. So, Wanda's mentioning to Louis, like, how loved Jerome was and how much the love he had for Louis and how it always showed. And she was like, I couldn't imagine losing you and things like that. She was, like, snuggling up on him. And Leon basically, like, he's like, you know, I'm right here. Call her Mrs. Whatever his last name is. So I thought that was super cute. They keep giving these little marital moments to Wanda and Leon. He was like, I'm not going nowhere. So I was like, that's cute. So then we get this little weird, awkward scene. So like they got the little rope up before the people start to come in to view the body. And the little young calculator dude is there, and I guess another one of Louis and Jerome's soldiers, or maybe Leon or Dion soldiers or whatever. So Scully come up, and he do like a head nod, like. And the young calculator dude look at the other soldier, and the other soldiers get the, what the was that? So it was just some random moment, and the young calculator dude just shrugged like, I don't even know. I was like, why did they give that a moment? I didn't know what was going on with that. Sometimes they give stuff a moment and they come back. What was that about? I don't know. So Gustavo's there. Did Gustavo even know Jerome like that? They probably only met like twice. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't remember. I can't remember. Random thought. Remember the Tiger episode? I just thought that was so lit. Anyway. Franklin and Gustavo in the damn tiger cage with I thought that was so crazy. Anyway, so Gustavo, he like giving Franklin his condolences. Gustavo say something in Spanish. Franklin was like, yeah, huh. So we're gonna meet us there. So I was like, Gustavo, chill, bro. You know he don't know no damn Spanish. I thought that was so funny. So he was like, yeah. So he telling Gustavo, I got some good news. He's like, but we're gonna talk about it at the repast. Let's get through this funeral. We're gonna discuss more at the repast. So then we get this sad scene. Sissy, she leaning over the casket. She lost her brother, man, her only brother. Lost her husband, what, last season or season before? Now she done lost her brother. Louis watching over there. She looking upset. She looking at Sissy. She looking upset. And who walks over? The goddamn dirty ex-cop trying to give his condolences. And I was just like, where was your antennas in your car getting high? Because that's what we saw when Jerome paged your ass. So in this moment, Louis gets to ask him, did Jerome page you? And ask for your gun at the junkyard or something like that? So he was like, nah. Lying like a mug. We know you lying. Because we saw him page you and you was in your car getting high. You didn't answer. And Louis, she clearly doesn't believe him. You can see it in her face. She don't believe him. So he walk off. He like, we know we don't believe you. So the pastor or whoever, the person telling the pastor, I'm going to say the pastor, he starts to give his sermon at the funeral, and like the things he was saying, you could tell it was hitting everybody. They was panning the camera around. Everybody, you could see the guilt in everybody's face. He basically was saying like we all to blame, and so many of these black brothers dying to gun violence and all that stuff, and these millionaires ain't doing nothing about it. The community ain't doing nothing about it. Things like that. You could just see everybody's face. You could tell that they feeling guilty. You could see it all over their face. So the ceremony ends and everybody started to like disperse. So then Dion, he come up to Leon. So I'm thinking, oh my God, Dion, don't do this right now. Not at this man's funeral. But he come up, he was like, Leon, he come up to Leon, he like, I heard y'all, no, he was like, y'all killed the fools that did this, basically. Like y'all did them. Leon, he nodded his head like a quick little, yeah. Leon was like, all right then. And then walk off. So I was like, okay. That's just acknowledging that stuff, that ish got handled. So I was like, okay. So I was like, so where does that leave Dion and Leon? They probably going to try to resolve. Dion probably going to end up working for Leon. Or Dion and Leon might end up getting back cool, and Leon might end up leaving the PJs to Dion, which would be ironic because he was literally running it before Leon got back. But who knows? I should have waited to say that in my predictions, but I be thinking of this stuff on the spot. So in the last little part of the funeral, everybody's gone. Louis, she's still at the casket. You know, she's still going through it. And it's showing Monet Tejada. I just keep saying it. I'm sorry. But, Franklin get the, what you need from me, Auntie? Franklin's so fine. That voice. What you need from me, Auntie? I was like, okay. I was like, he sounds so good, but it didn't matter. That's a fake accent. Like, this man is like British or something like that. But he was like, what you need from me, Auntie? So she was like, answer one question for me. She's like, why'd you come back for me? Like, why'd you come back to the warehouse to save me? You could just let Kane and his men do whatever and kill me, whatever. So Franklin get the man, you know, I grew up around women. I respect women. Give them the praises of all high. He ain't say that exactly, but you know, I respect women. I love women. My mom was a woman. Things like that. I got a woman. V's a woman. My baby could be a woman. Things like that. So he was like, plus I wouldn't be able to live with myself knowing what Kane and them men would have did to you if I'd have left you there. He's like, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. I wouldn't be able to handle it. And we see he ended up having them nightmares and all that. So we know. So not V. So Louis like, is that it? That's all? So Franklin like, no. He's like, no. You don't remember what you said in that warehouse? Nope. You made me a promise. So I'm gonna need you to come through on that promise. Basically, he need her to get him to Teddy. Because his other plans ain't seeming to fall through. He don't know if he could trust Gustavo now. So he like, I'm gonna need you to give me Teddy. So she get the, you know you the devil, right? Like, she just don't even know what to do now. She just like, you know you the devil, right? Oh, yeah, and rewind back to when Sissy and Louis was talking. When Louis says that this is all Franklin's fault, Sissy says we're all to blame, and we're out here playing in Teddy's war and the white man's war and things like that. So I thought that was like, you know, Sissy can't stand Teddy's, like, rightfully so. Like, killed her old husband. Still haven't seen the body, but anyway. So she like, you know, you the devil. Louis tells Franklin, you know, you the devil, right? So Franklin like, he like, yeah, I know. Like, in this moment, he says, yeah, I know. Like, man, I know, man. It's like, I know, but there's nothing I can do about it. I can't control it. And that's how I go off, and I'm just like, so I wonder where this is going to go. Is Louis going to set up Franklin, or is she going to really like team up with her nephew, and go against Teddy? I don't know. But yeah, like I said, man, this episode was lit. But I still give it an A minus because, I mean, it was good. A minus is good. It was good. My predictions for these last couple of episodes. Well, like I said, maybe Leon and Dion gonna get back cool. Leon gonna ironically give the PJs back to Dion. Or maybe make them promise to run it better. I don't know, something like that. I don't know what Louis gonna do. I don't know. I was surprised. Yeah, like I said, I was surprised that ain't nothing happened at the funeral. Maybe Teddy did just do that out of respect. But I was like, dang, Louis, you told Teddy where Franklin gonna be at. But ain't nothing happened at the funeral. So I was like, okay, good. And then what was that whole little shrug? I mean, the little head nod thing that Scully did. Is that gonna come back? I don't know. That was weird. Or maybe they just did that for comedic relief. I don't know. I be thinking about little small stuff like that. What if Wanda and Leon end up getting a divorce? I don't think we're gonna see that. V, her mother just gone, ain't she? Did she even get her 7.3? Or she just said, F that, I just seen him kill a man. But according to V, she's done worse, so I don't know. But yeah, I think these final episodes are just going to be like Teddy and Franklin trying to get at each other. Gustavo, I don't know what's going to happen with him. Like, man, how much can the KGB dude get him? Can he get him more than $1 million? I don't think so. But like I said, I think the KGB dude is stringing him along like he did Avi in the end. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be it might be a full-out war in the end. Like, KGB, DEA, Franklin's and his men, Louis and her dudes. But I really think that final episode is going to be like the final showdown between Franklin and Teddy. And somebody might betray somebody. Somebody might not be on somebody's side. You never know. Franklin might think Gustavo on his side. Gustavo might end up standing with Teddy. Teddy might think Gustavo on his side. Gustavo might end up standing with Franklin. Because Teddy don't know about Gustavo's situation with the DEA or his situation with Franklin. So, yeah. Where does Gustavo stand and where does Louis stand? I can't wait to find out. But thanks for watching this video. Please like this video. Please share the video. Subscribe to my channel. Because I do review other shows. And, yeah. That's pretty much it. Oh, yeah. Comment below what you thought. Rate the episode as well. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Peace.